Today, I'm going to talk about 3 accessories that you definitely need on you. Now, in terms of the accessories, this definitely applies more to the mobile DJ side of things. However, if you are a club DJ and only do club DJing, some of this stuff still applies to you, especially if you need to like crack open a mixer, if you need to take a look at something real quick, or if there's just an all-around thing that someone needs help with in a club that you can help with. That's definitely a beneficial trait to have. And sorry for the kind of crappy mic, by the way. I would be using this little jaunt right here, but something's messed up with my Focusrite, so I just got to get that fixed, and then I'll be back on the super nice mic. So the first thing I recommend you guys get is something called a mobile battery pack. So you can find these on Amazon. I would recommend you get something that's about 500 watts. So Serge will put a photo up here of what they kind of look like somewhere. We'll put it right here. The mobile battery pack is essentially a backup in case everything goes wrong. Let's say like a circuit like blows, or like something on a breaker flips and you can't change it, and something like totally blown. You can have a battery pack depending on the quality of battery pack that you buy, like those remote chargeable kind of ones that I'm talking about. If you get anything that's around 500 watts or higher, that could probably carry you through the end of your DJ set, depending what you're running on it. It definitely can carry you through a ceremony easily. I'm pretty sure the 500, I'm not exactly an electricity expert here, but the 500 watt on one 12 volt outlet will carry that 12 volt for 17 plus hours. That's a long time. Now, am I recommending that you go and run your entire setup off of that for a whole day? Absolutely not. But it's definitely good to have on you. It's no bigger than a small mic crate, so you can easily charge that, put it in your car, still have plenty of space for everything else, and wherever you're going, you always have that on you. So you can use it for your remote setups if it's a real quick ceremony, if it's just some sort of side stage thing with a playlist and there's no outlets near you. This is great for outdoor events or anything that is kind of a last second emergency. Now, something that people always talk about, which would kind of be the stereotypical second thing, is everyone's like, bring spare cables, you never know. Where you should definitely bring spare cables, but I kind of want to just give you guys things that I use that is a little bit different. I obviously bring spare cables with me everywhere I go, so why would I go over that with you? But the second thing is you should have a multi-tool on you everywhere you go. I'm not saying you need to be like a handyman or a handy woman or a handy person. Like, you just need to be able to have a tool on you that can be a wrench, screwdriver, a box cutter, anything like that, because you never know when something comes up. Let's say you need to open up a mixer. Let's say you need to get into something, or you need to cut something, or you're tightening something, but the bolt won't tighten on the other end because your washer's missing. So you need some sort of wrench or something to hold that in place while you screw it in on the other end. These are all things that happen consistently where you would need a multi-tool for those things. You should always have a multi-tool on you. It's like 15 bucks, not even. So much cheaper than the battery pack. So I would say if you're falling on a budget, you definitely should have a multi-tool on you at all times. Now, I said 3 things, but the reality is I kind of thought of 2 real quick. So the third one's going to be 2 things. So these are also extremely cheap, but they're accessories you should always have on you. And those things are zip ties and gaff tape. Some people might think that's a different occupation based off of what I just said. But for DJs, they are very applicable. So the zip ties are for fastening things. I use it for lighting or power strips. Like the other day, I didn't have the necessary cabling that I needed to for something for daisy chaining power because it required some sort of different adapter. So what I did was I actually ran a power strip up, but obviously I couldn't get the power strip on the trussing itself. So I used 2 zip ties to actually fasten that to the truss itself, and then I was able to easily run all my IECs across, or AC cables, whatever you call them. And then I was able to run all the power across that way. And Gaffer's tape, if you don't know what it is a black roll of tape that you see. I wonder if I have, hold on, let me get one real quick. Gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is, I think it's a cotton cloth adhesive is what it is. I don't really know. I'm probably going to Google it after. But This tape is used for typically staging, professional movie, videography. I use it specifically for cable management, organization, to avoid any sort of loose cables so no one trips over it. Let's say I'm doing something and I have to run cables on the sides of me. After I'm done setting up, I'll then use the gaffer's tape to then organize it and then run it all and then gaff it across. So it's organized, cleaned up, it's not a hazard to people, and it won't mess you up because you don't want to trip over a cable and unplug something or have something fall over because you decided to not buy some gaffer's tape. And this is extremely strong. And it's not like you won't have a hard time getting it off, but it is very strong. So zip ties and gaff tape is my third and final thing that I'd recommend. But that does it for my 3 things. Hopefully you guys learned something new. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I was gone for this past week. Sorry, I have a lot going on with Redrum right now. But I have this video and then I'm doing a couple more videos. So we should be on a weekly basis here moving forward unless, some crazy thing happens again. But be on the lookout for the next video. I'll talk to you guys soon.